So welcome. Here it is the biological classification. Okay. Now there are two kingdom of classification is given by Linnaeus. Okay. And Aristotle was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis for classification. Aristotle used simple morphological characters to classify plants into trees, shrubs and herbs, and animals into two groups, those which had red blood and those which did not have. Okay, two kingdom classification given by Linnaeus, it is Plantae and Animalia. Now, okay, so Animalia includes animals and Plantae includes plants, but this system did not distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes, unicellular and multicellular organisms, and photosynthetic, that is green algae, and non-photosynthetic, that is fungi organisms. Remember these 3 points. Now, classification of our organisms into plants and animals was easily done and was easy to understand, but a large number of organisms did not fall into either category, not even Plantae and not even Animalia. Hence, the two kingdom of classification used for a long time was found inadequate. Now, besides gross morphological, a need also felt like cell structure, nature of fall, mode of nutrition, habit, methods of reproduction, evolutionary relationship. That was the need. Okay. A classification system for living organisms have hence undergone several changes over the time, though plant and animal kingdoms have been a constant under all different systems, and the understanding of what organisms groups be included under this. And so plant and animal kingdoms, they are constant. Okay, they are just constant. So this is it. Now the characteristics of the five kingdom. Now let's see. First is the Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Okay. Now cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, mode of nutrition. So cell type prokaryotes, only Monera, and rest all are the eukaryotes from Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Cell wall, non-cellulosic polysaccharide amino acid of Monera, then Protista present in some fungi, present with chitin, and Plantae present cellulose, and Animalia absent. Right. Now the nuclear membrane, that is absent in Monera and present in rest of all. Now body organization, it is present cellular in Monera and Protista cellular, and fungi multicellular loose tissue, and Plantae tissue and organ, and Animalia tissue, organ and organ system. Tissue, organ and organ system, remember that. Okay, now mode of nutrition, everything is present in the Monera, that is autotrophic and photosynthetic, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Now in Protista it is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, fungi it is only heterotrophic, Plantae it is autotrophic, and in Animalia it is heterotrophic, especially the holozoic is shown by an Animalia. Okay, so these are the things right here. Okay, now remember, parasitic, it is a type of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, now R.H. Whittaker 1969 gives five kingdom classification, includes Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. The main criteria for this classification used by him was cell structure, body organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction, and phylogenetic relationships. Okay. Cell structure and body organization, remember these two things. Now three domain system has been proposed that divides the kingdom Monera into two domains, leaving the remaining eukaryotic kingdoms in the third domain. Thereby six kingdom classification has been made. So three domain Monera kingdom divides into two domains, and the remaining four eukaryotes into the third domain. So it is a six kingdom classification, right? Now, earlier classification systems included bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, ferns, gymnosperm and angiosperms under plants, because they had the cell walls. This placed together groups which widely differed in other characteristics. It brought together the prokaryotic bacteria and the blue-green algae. I mean, they did not differentiate prokaryotic bacteria and blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, with other groups which were eukaryotic. It is also grouped together the unicellular organisms and multicellular ones. For example, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra were placed together under algae. Okay, the classification did not differentiate between the heterotrophic group fungi and the autotrophic green plants, though they were also showed a characteristic difference in their cell wall composition. The fungi had chitin in their walls, while the green plants had a cellulosic cell walls. When such characteristics were considered, the fungi were placed in a separate kingdom. Now, kingdom fungi. All prokaryotic organisms were grouped together under kingdom Monera. All prokaryotic under kingdom Monera, and the unicellular eukaryotes organisms placed in the kingdom Protista. Right? Kingdom Protista has brought together Chlamydomonas chlorella, which were placed in algae within the plants. Both have the cell walls. And with Paramecium and amoeba, which were earlier placed in the animal kingdom, which lacked the cell wall. So it has put together organisms which in earlier classification were placed in different kingdoms. This happened because the criteria for classification has changed. Okay. There is their phylogenetic, that is based on the evolutionary relationship. This is the need. So this is the need, right? Okay, the kingdoms Plantae and Animal are commonly referred to as plant and animal kingdoms respectively. Now kingdom Monera. Bacteria, these are the sole members of the kingdom Monera. They are most abundant in nature. They are almost everywhere, and they occur in extreme habits. Life forms like hot springs, deserts, snow, deep oceans, everywhere. They act as parasites. Then bacteria group under 4 categories based on their shape: spherical, that is coccus, and rod shape, that is bacilli, the comma shape vibrio, the spiral, that is spirillum. Okay, so this is vibrio flagella, spirilla, that is, and it is bacillus, and this one is the cocci. You see, the bacillus has the spore and spirilla has the flagellum. Remember, though the bacterial structure is very simple, they are very complex in behavior, right? And they show the most extensive metabolic diversity, right? They show the most extensive metabolic diversity, right? The majority of bacteria are heterotrophs. Okay, the majority of bacteria are heterotrophs. Now archaebacteria. Most harsh habits, such as extremely salty areas, hydrophiles, hot springs, that is thermoacidophiles, and marshy areas, that is methanogens. Now archaebacteria differ from other bacteria in having a different cell wall structure, and this feature is responsible for their survival in extreme conditions. Now methogens are present in the gut of several ruminant animals such as cows and buffaloes. They are responsible for the production of methane, that is biogas, from the dung of these animals. Now coming to the eubacteria, these are the true bacteria. Okay, presence of rigid cell wall, if motile, a flagellum, not always motile. The cyanobacteria, that is also known as blue-green algae, chlorophyll A, and then cyanobacteria are unicellular, colonial, or filamentous freshwater, marine, or terrestrial algae. The colonies are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheath. They often form blooms in polluted water bodies. Some of these organisms can fix atmospheric nitrogen in specialized cells called heterocysts, nostoc, and anabina. They are chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. They oxidize various inorganic substances such as nitrates, ammonia. Okay, play a role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, and sulfur. Now heterotrophic bacteria, most abundant in nature, right? The majority are decomposers. And heterotrophic bacteria, they helpful in making curd from milk, production of antibiotics, fixing nitrogen in legume roots. Some are pathogens: chlorella, typhoid, tetanus, citrus canker. These are diseases caused by the bacteria: chlorella, typhoid, tetanus, and citrus canker. Now they produce mainly by fission, but under unfavorable conditions they produce spores. They also reproduce by a sort of sexual reproduction by adopting a primitive type of DNA transfer from one bacterium to the other. The mycoplasma, these are organisms that completely lack cell wall. These are the smallest living cells known and can survive without oxygen. And many mycoplasma are pathogenic in animals and plants. Many, not all. This is a dividing bacterium. This is a cell wall. This is cell membrane inner to the cell wall, and this is the DNA. So it is a dividing bacterium.